If you've been following our journey with the Dallas Cowboys for a while, you know perfectly well that situations of extreme adversity often change everything behind the scenes at the star. To understand where we are today, we need to look back and analyze how our quarterback's resilience has shaped the mentality of this franchise. Every passionate fan remembers the terrible ankle injury Dak Prescott suffered years ago against the New York Giants, a traumatic moment that seemed to put an end to our most audacious aspirations of returning to the Super Bowl. But there's a behind-the-scenes detail about Dak's mentality that almost no one noticed at the time, something that shows how completely obsessed and addicted to the sport this guy is in a positive way. Before we continue, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Our goal is to reach 1,000 subscribers, and you can be part of this milestone. Just click subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any upcoming videos. Let's reach 1,000 subscribers together. When he underwent that complex ankle surgery and was completely unable to go onto the field, run, or even make the traditional movements of a passer, he simply couldn't stay still. The quarterback would sit on his couch at home and spend hours throwing the ball against the upholstery just to keep his arm active. What no one expected was that this repetitive and adapted movement, improvised in the living room, would generate a mechanics much more similar to a baseball pitch. This compensation ended up generating that bizarre discomfort in his shoulder during the subsequent training camp, a typical baseball pitcher injury caused purely by the guy's refusal to rest. Later, we faced new scares, such as a hamstring strain that ripped from the bone, an injury that occurred without him suffering a direct impact. Seeing our starting quarterback enter his 30s, accumulating this history of medical problems, raises a giant red flag in the mind of any conscious fan. When we look at our current offensive line, which has been showing inconsistent performance and very questionable decisions in protection, the concern for Dak's physical integrity becomes overwhelming. Other passers in the league, like Lamar Jackson, possess an almost supernatural ability to avoid brutal contact on the sidelines, leaving the field before the hit. Even the legendary Tom Brady spent his entire career suffering very few devastating impacts to the protective sack, with the exception of that ACL tear caused by an unavoidable collision. In contrast, we see rookies and young players suffering absurd impacts, flying through the air, while Dak has to carry the weight of a machine that often fails to protect him. The stark truth is that Dallas's recent history began with this constant battle against the physical limitations of its star player, and the first major event of this journey was understanding that our window of victory depends exclusively on keeping him healthy behind a line that urgently needs to evolve. Now pay attention, because this scenario of physical exhaustion was the trigger for the coaching staff and management to realize that we could no longer carry the team solely on the backs of the offense. The defense needed a drastic conceptual reconstruction if we wanted to truly compete in the conference. Before we continue, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Our goal is to reach 1,000 subscribers, and you can be part of this milestone. Just click subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any upcoming videos. Let's reach 1,000 subscribers together. This urgent need for defensive evolution brings us directly to the most important and controversial change of this offseason, a true tactical dilemma that has been hotly dividing opinions on social media and sports programs. The big question simmering behind the scenes is, should Dallas open the coffers and bring in established linemen like Von Miller or Joey Bosa, or blindly trust the development of the young talents already on the roster? I confess I didn't imagine this outcome, but the management has adopted a stance that is testing the patience of the entire Cowboys nation. If you analyze purely the cold statistics, experienced guys like Bosa and Von Miller have accumulated individually more sacks in their careers than practically the entire rest of our defensive roster combined. Bringing in these veterans would make anyone think we would be guaranteeing immediate pressure on opposing quarterbacks. However, their role in today's NFL would be much more that of luxury mercenaries, rotational pieces specialized in entering the field only in obvious third-down passing situations when their ears droop and they run straight to the target. They wouldn't be able to handle the physical strain of playing all three downs in. Before we continue, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Our goal is to reach 1,000 subscribers, and you can be part of this milestone. Just click subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any upcoming videos. Let's reach 1,000 subscribers together. September, under sweltering heat. This is exactly where the counterpoint that the coaching staff is defending tooth and nail comes in. If you bring in a star like that and give him the crucial pass rush snaps at the beginning of the year, what happens to the development of promising young players like rookie Donovan Ezeruaku and young Malachi Lawrence? If we were to evaluate this situation like a video game, where one player is 83 overall and the other is 80, the choice would be obvious and automatic. But real life and high-level American football don't work that way. The young player who currently plays with an overall rating of 80 will only reach his full potential if he has the real opportunity to make mistakes, learn, and develop by facing opposing starters under high pressure during September, October, and November. The coaching staff understands that at some point you need to throw these kids into the fire and let them play to reap the rewards later on, in the final stretch in December. On the other hand, the fan who is tired of promises looks at Sam Williams' situation and asks a legitimate and painful question. Why didn't we simply maintain a more solid structure in the pass rush instead of betting everything on uncertain projections? Wouldn't it have been infinitely more fun and safer to add the experience of a Von Miller to support Micah Parsons? Leave your like below and actively participate in this discussion. Before we continue with the turnaround that shocked the league, I want to know your honest opinion in the comments. Do you believe that this bold decision to give youth a chance in the pass rush can put the Dallas Cowboys back among the absolute favorites in the NFC? Or are we facing stubbornness that will cost them dearly? With all these pieces falling into place and training progressing intensely at the Star, we've arrived at our current situation, a moment for realistic analysis and adjusting expectations for what we'll see on the field throughout the 2026 regular season. The atmosphere at AT&T Stadium and on the training fields reflects a natural tension within the coaching staff, as we know perfectly well that the margin for error for America's team is zero. If you talk to the most level-headed analysts and look at the historical data, the fairest expectation for year one of this new defensive philosophy is to project a unit that initially flirts with the 20th position in the league in terms of overall statistics. I know that passionate fans want to hear that we'll have a dominant top 10 defense from week one, but such a profound tactical transition, which changed so many pieces and heavily relied on rookies in the rotation, inevitably presents a steep learning curve. The range of possible outcomes for this unit is extremely broad. However, there is an internal strategic plan and a path of evolution that the coaching staff has designed, and I would endorse it without hesitation for a second. The plan is to divide the season into two clear halves. In the first 8 games, the absolute focus is on surviving and consolidating the young players, keeping the defense firmly positioned within the league's top 20. As the rookies gain real game experience and Caleb Downs takes full control of communication in the secondary, the goal is to have the unit evolve drastically in the last 9 games of the season, playing at a legitimate top 10 level in the final stretch. If you can guarantee me that this team will arrive in December with this consolidated evolution, we will have an absurdly dangerous team that nobody will want to face in the harsh winter of the playoffs. It's a matter of pure mathematics and strategy. We already know that our offense, led by Dak Prescott and operating with total synergy, has more than enough capacity to consistently remain one of the top 10 offensive units in the NFL. If, at the decisive moment of the season, we can align 2 top 10 units, both on offense and defense, Dallas will finally have the necessary arguments to make real noise in the postseason and silence the national media. The stands will erupt with excitement if this machine works perfectly. The current scenario is one of building and patience, something difficult to ask of Cowboys fans, but which proves fundamental if we want to build something lasting and able to withstand the overwhelming pressure that the NFC East division imposes on us every game week.